Ross. I'm candidate for City Parish Council, District 8, and I'd like your support on October 24th, and here's why. For more than 45 years, over 4 decades, I've been involved in this community in so many organizations, business, cultural, civic, charitable, and I think that's given me a really keen understanding of the needs not only of District 8, but of Lafayette Parish as well. We're all in this together. We need to work together to solve our problems, and that's what I want to do as your next City Parish representative from District 8. I've set up my priorities for a stronger Lafayette, basically in 3 different areas: public safety, number 1, infrastructure, number 2, and economic development, and all of them working together to move Lafayette forward. Well, the 3 areas that I've mentioned, public safety, infrastructure, and economic development, can all work together to improve the community. Let's talk about public safety first, because really that's the number 1 job of any government, is public safety, the safety of its citizens. And I think maybe we took that for granted before that terrible night at the theater shooting. So I think that now we understand how important that is to all of us. We have to have a safe community or nothing else really can happen. The first person I went to talk to after I made my decision to run for City Parish Council was Chief Jim Kraft. I wanted to understand the needs of our police department, our first responders, in terms of training, facilities, staffing, equipment, all of those needs that make for an excellent police department. And I think that after that shooting that night, I got many phone calls from family members outside of the area who were watching on television and actually saw the amazing job that our first responders did. So it was really important that I speak to Jim Kraft before that all happened. It gave me a greater understanding of what we needed in our police department to make us stronger and safer. The other thing is our fire department, because our fire rating really affects everyone. If we don't keep our fire rating up, our insurance rates go up. So we have to have a really good fire rating. And so I spoke with Chief Robert Benoit, and I've had personal experience with the fire department. They do an outstanding job. And so I wanted to understand from him also how we could make his department better. Those were the first 2 people I spoke to, because I think that that's the bedrock of any community. We've got to have excellent public safety. Now we talk about infrastructure. And to me, that's what I've heard more and more going throughout the district. Fix the streets, fix the roads, fix the drainage, because these are the things that affect people's lives every single day. We all have certain projects that we support, that we want to see supported and want to see prosper and move forward. But the basic things that people expect from their government, which is, you know, the infrastructure, streets, roads, drainage. It's very simple. As I've gone door to door since early June, talking to people about what we need in the area, those were the things I heard. There are actually some subdivisions that have been in Lafayette for over 20 years. They still have open ditches and no sidewalks. I think we can start a dialogue and start working together with the people to figure out how to solve that problem. Now, in terms of our streets, well, everybody knows traffic is our number 1 problem every day in the community. And so I've looked very hard at some of these projects that have sort of sat on the back burner. For instance, more than 30 years ago, we were promised a bridge at South College. We did the South College extension. We built the roadway, but we didn't build the bridge to get to that roadway. And it's really critical now, because as you've seen the traffic pattern in that area, from South College turning right on Pinhook, left on Kali Saloom, it's a bottleneck almost every hour of the day. Plus you have a major healthcare facility, Lafayette General, right there at near that intersection of where that extension would go. So we need to, I believe, build that bridge. I believe the traffic studies will show that. Although some people have said no, but I've talked to a lot of traffic engineers and they believe that it is really needed, not only to move the traffic better, but to get emergency vehicles, etc., into that major health center. So, and Lafayette General is becoming more of a player in the health field because of its collaboration now with university health clinics and with the state on delivering services to underserved populations. So that's really important. Finally, one of the major things, of course, we're happy to see the state stepping up to do Vero School, and a parish government, consolidated government, widening Kali Saloom Road to 5 lanes. That's really important. That's long overdue, all the way from Ambassador Caffrey up to 733. The problem is then you're going to have another 5-lane road emptying onto a 2-lane street. And this is becoming a major thoroughfare, a major, what they call a connector road from the Milton Highway to Johnston Street. It's Highway 733, or E. Broussard Road. So as I examined this issue and I saw what Treasurer John Kennedy was doing in giving some seed money from his Unclaimed Properties Fund to fund some of the improvements of the intersections on I-49 South, what's going to be I-49 South. And I thought, wouldn't that be a great demonstration project to show that we can fast track some road projects, because that's what I hear all the time. Why do the streets take so long? And so it got me to thinking. So I called the treasurer and I said, you know, I'm not really looking for an endorsement. Do you think this could work as a demonstration project? Take some money, upfront money, out of the Unclaimed Properties Fund, work a deal, an intergovernmental agreement with the Department of Transportation and Development. They would have to reimburse the fund, of course, over time, because they don't have the money right now, but in structured payments over time to reimburse the fund. I said, do you think this could work? Not only did he think it could work, he was very enthusiastic about it. So I spoke to some traffic engineers and some folks who used to be with the Department of Transportation and Development, DOTD. And they thought that was a good project to work on because, number one, it is a state road. Number two, the development that's going on in that area it's moving exponentially, so it's time to get out in front. You know, you hear people say all the time, build the roads first. Well, this would be an opportunity to build the road before the development overtakes it. So, and you're going to have a big roundabout there. It seems to me it's a perfect solution. From the Milton Highway to Johnston is 4.4 miles. My traffic engineering friends tell me a reasonable number is $10 million a mile, plus add in another 5 or 6 million for the bridge, because we already have a bridge there. So here we are 1.2 miles up from Ambassador. It's a major connector road, and it certainly could relieve a lot of the traffic on Ambassador. It's virtually parallel to Ambassador Caffrey. So anybody who's worried about the buildup of traffic on Ambassador Caffrey, which continues also exponentially, should really take a look at this project. This could be something that works. So Treasurer Kennedy suggested the next step was to talk to our legislative delegation. I have done that to 2 representatives who actually have that project in their district, and they are on board. I've spoken to some of the, you know, there are 2 churches out there on that road. There's the school out there. There's a lot of traffic, a lot of subdivisions. It would be a good project to show that this is maybe a potential for solving some traffic problems. You'd have to have a very well demonstrated project. You'd have to have a plan, an intergovernmental agreement or a cooperative endeavor agreement for the payback. But I think it could work, and I think the people who need to be on board are on board. Now it's just a matter of putting all the moving pieces into place. And I'm really excited about doing that and about getting the conversation. Well, I think first of all, Lafayette has been traditionally an entrepreneurial, vibrant, driven by the private sector. That's where our economy has been so strong. When people complain about traffic and growth, those are good problems to have, really, when you think about it, because the alternate would be stagnation. We don't want that. So growth is good, but how do you kind of manage that growth without putting a damper on economic development, without putting a damper on private enterprise? And I think that's where taking a light touch with regulations is really important, not being overbearing with the regulations, keeping our taxes low. I've heard some public officials complain that we have the lowest sales tax here in Lafayette, the city of Lafayette, in the parish, in the area, and complaining that that's a problem. I see that as a benefit. With as much retail as we have in the city of Lafayette and the surrounding areas, we want to promote those people coming into Lafayette, buying things here and keeping our economy strong, because when people are buying things in Lafayette, that means that's more sales tax dollars to go into into the public coffers to do the projects that we want done. That's important. We want to keep our retail sector strong, and we want to keep our development sector strong. We don't want to over-regulate anybody in the private sector, and we want to respect private property rights. I think that's very, very important to people these days when they see bureaucrats coming in and setting policies that are damaging to the private sector. Private sector is what has made Lafayette great, not only in the for-profit, but also the nonprofit. So when it comes to economic development, we want to keep taxes and regulation good. We want to support our small businesses. We want to make targeted investments in our cultural economy, because that has paid off big time for us. When you see the people who come in for our festivals, for Mardi Gras, Festival International, Festivals Acadiens et Creole, I mean, you see the dollars that are poured into our coffers. So a targeted investment in some of those areas is a good thing also. But for me right now, the most important thing is getting that medical school in Lafayette. You've heard Treasurer John Kennedy talk about it. I've seen presentations at my Rotary Club from physicians representing the LSU health system. And they think that that medical school should be here in Lafayette, and I do too. We have the infrastructure here. We have the facilities here. And really, I saw the number of what it would take financially. It's not that much. $11 million the first year, $5 million every year for the next 4 years. That was the presentation I saw. That is doable. Our people we need more physicians in this area, and the studies have shown where they go to medical school, they stay and practice in the area. So as we're growing Lafayette as a medical hub, a medical school is critically important, and I'm going to work with whoever, Treasurer Kennedy, whoever the new administration is, and my fellow council members to get that done. So I have some specific plans, but the overall thing, the thing that I think that is the overriding issue is trust. If people do not trust their government, nothing happens. We have to continue to build trust in government, and I think that's one of my main commitments to the people, that I will work with them to rebuild the trust in government, that we are in this together, that we have to be fair to everyone. No special taxing deals, no special taxing districts. Everyone gets treated fairly, because what happens if government starts picking the losers and the winners? Then everybody else says, what about me? What about the people who didn't get that special tax break? We want to make sure everybody plays on an even, equal, level playing field. Make it fair to everybody, everybody participates, and it's good for everyone. So those are the reasons I'm running, and I just hope people will support me. Candidate for City Parish Council, District 8, I'm Carol Ross. You can reach me at my Facebook page. It's Carol Ross District 8 on Facebook. My website is carol4district8.com, carol4district8.com. And, you know, there are any number of ways to get in touch with us. The contact information is on the website and the Facebook page. I would appreciate your support on October 24th, but above all, please get out and vote. It's very important to the future of our community. Thank you.